When you go back and you watch the season 6 finale for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, you will probably look at it and realize that Chrysalis's plan to have global domination, have her rule over all of Equestria, seemed to be foolproof, except for one thing. She didn't basically expect one pony who was trying to redeem herself for everything that she had done previously to be an issue. And that one pony, that one unicorn, was Starlight Glimmer. And the reason she didn't feel that Starlight was a threat is what caused their downfall. Now, had she done her research and realized, hey, Starlight's being taught by Twilight, I need to take this girl seriously as well, she probably wouldn't have had, everything backfire on her at all. Nor had she taken into account, wait a minute, I have a traitorous changeling on the loose that doesn't see my vision of how things should go. I need to take care of him as well. Had she took those two, situations into account, again, she wouldn't be in the situation that she ended up in. Or wouldn't have been in the situation she ended up in. If you understand what I'm saying. I do apologize for rambling there. I'll get my tongue tied there. But like I said, she would have basically succeeded. And long story short, she would have succeeded. But because she didn't take into account Starlight being a possible threat, or the traitorous changeling being a threat, it's what caused her downfall. Yeah, she was able to make up for it by basically capturing Trixie and Discord and concluding them, just like she had done with everybody else. But, in the end, it wasn't enough. Starlight was able to kind of realize, okay, the only way we could do this is for Thorax to give all his love, to Chrysalis. Because obviously Starlight realized something has to happen, that if overloaded with love could cause some kind of chain reaction, and it did. The chain reaction being that the changelings ended up in a more evolved state. They go cocoon, and then they, uncocoon into a more evolved state, basically a more colorful rainbow state, which basically upon seeing Thorax achieve this, woke all the other changelings up like, wait a minute. So if we give our love and everything, back to Chrysalis or whatever, we could achieve the same thing this guy did. We could achieve nirvana, if you will. And that's exactly what they do. And they all end up basically, identically to what Thorax became. And this caused Chrysalis's downfall because she underestimated both her backstabbing traitorous changeling that didn't see her view of how things should go, and she underestimated Starlight as being a threat. She did. And this is why, when you look at the seasons that follow, she blames more Starlight than herself. Her pride basically will not let her admit that she should have taken every precaution into account, every substantial threat to her plans of global domination into account. But she didn't. She didn't, and it caused her downfall. And what's crazy about this is it's very similar to a story I watched in an episode of Transformers G1 back when I was a kid. I can't think of the title right now. I have to go and watch it, or find it on my DVD set and watch it. But anyway, long story short, Megatron creates something that causes the Autobots, basically like the core cast of Season 1 and 2, to go bad, including Optimus Prime. But what Megatron and his crew don't do is they don't do this to Bumblebee, and they don't do it to Spike. Spike, of course, is human, but they don't do it to Bumblebee because they don't see him as much as a threat, or they missed him. So by missing one Autobot, whether they looked at him as a threat or they just didn't see him as a threat or they forgot about him, basically that's what caused their downfall, because it was Bumblebee and Spike that were able to get, Optimus and the other Autobots to revert from evil back to good. And that caused the downfall of Megatron's plan. Anyway, long story short, I bring that up because, again, I see a similarity with Chrysalis's plans at the end of the season 6 finale. Because she underestimated Starlight Glimmer and even her traitorous changeling Thorax, it caused her downfall. And had she not done that, she would have succeeded. But she didn't. I mean, the reaction she has, the expression she has after everything comes crumbling down on her and she digs her way out, when she sees everybody, getting ready to kick her ass, excuse my language, God, kick her, buggy ass, if you will, the realization just dawns on her like, oh, crap, maybe I should have planned better. Maybe I should have planned better, but she didn't. She didn't, and that's what caused her downfall. Now here's the thing. If we do look at the story, the plan, we will admit, as I mentioned earlier, I believe, was pretty good. Being a changeling, being a queen of the changelings, she had the power and authority to order her minions to go out and impersonate other, creatures, other ponies, thus being able to lure them into traps, which worked. Unfortunately, again, she didn't take into account Starlight Glimmer, because she didn't see her as a threat. And you got to remember, Season 6 is looked at as Starlight Glimmer's redemption arc. And that this finale, for about 75% of it, brought that redemption full circle. Season 7 and parts of Season 8 helped bring it truly full circle at 100% with its certain episodes and stuff there. But the point I'm getting at basically is the plan was almost foolproof. Like nothing could go wrong. But because she underestimated, one little pony, one little unicorn, everything came crumbling down. All because she underestimated one traitorous changeling, it all came crumbling down. And that basically is the one flaw, that she, Chrysalis, as we would see further on in the series, would not admit to. She would not, concede and admit, yeah, I blew it. I should have took everything into account. It's my fault. I lost everything. No. Instead, she blames Starlight Glimmer. She still technically blames Twilight because, she mentored Starlight. So, she blames basically those that she feels are more at fault than her, because of the fact that she still looks at herself as a queen, and that basically, King Thorax, stole her kingdom from her that rightfully belongs to her. So instead of admitting, like I said, that she's at fault for losing everything, she'll put the blame on anybody else besides herself. And that's what caused her downfall, along with Tyrek, along with Cozy Glow, in the finale as well, because she would not accept responsibility for something that, for a problem that she caused her to herself, for trouble she had caused to herself because she didn't plan properly back in Season 6. And now, as far as the series goes, where does she find herself? Encased in stone. Well, if the comics, Season 10 comics, are to be believed too, eventually getting herself out of there as well, but still, trapped in stone. All because, one, she didn't plan properly. Two, she underestimated, two individuals, two characters that she thought wasn't going to be a problem, but they were. Three, she didn't allow herself to basically swallow that pride and accept the friendship that Starlight was offering her, like Twilight had offered Starlight. And 4, basically, she blames everybody else except herself. That's what caused her downfall. And hadn't she basically taken into account any of that, basically taken responsibility for any of that, maybe she might be behind bars, in Tartarus right now, where basically she can't escape no matter how hard she tries. Maybe that would be the case. We don't know. But yeah, when we look back on it, Chrysalis's downfall, not just her mind breaking into insanity, but mainly her downfall where she lost everything, all started back with that finale in season 6 because she underestimated Thorax and Starlight Glimmer. Because she didn't see them as threats. And now, basically afterwards, she did start looking at them as threats, if not people who were more at fault than she really was. But what do you guys think? Do you think Chrysalis, has no one really to blame but herself for what happened in the season 6 finale because she didn't plan properly and she underestimated the likes of a Starlight Glimmer? What are your thoughts? Let me know down below in the comment section. Live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Hit the notification buttons, guys, to find out when all my content comes out. Also, support me at Venmo at Brian-Romer-2, Cash App at BWRoses98. I will financially get, your support instantly like that. Also, check me out at patreon.com/BWRoses with a $1, $3 tier, possibly on the verge of doing a $5 Q&A tier, so be on the lookout for that. Also, support me, ladies and gentlemen, at BW Roses Discussions at all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora, where you might just get an audio version of this as well. Also, check out the Teespring store first. Merchandise you can't get anywhere else except there, especially in time for the holidays. And, ladies and gentlemen, I do have some new MLP-related merchandise that you can't find anywhere else as well. So check out the Teespring store there. Also, check me out at VENMO at BW Roses for content you can't get here on YouTube. Also, check me out at deviantart.com/BVW1979. But until next time, guys, let me know what your thoughts are down below and in the live chat during the premiere, and I will talk to you later.